What is this day like for you being inducted in the South Carolina Athletic Hall of Fame?
Hard to believe, honestly. Just growing up in Stone Mountain, Georgia, and coming from where I came from, I just extremely excited and honored, and it's honestly hard to believe, really.
You mentioned the best choice you made in life was attending Clemson. Expand on that, and just what do you remember most about your time at Clemson?
Just from the start, it was, getting into school was going to be a hard time because my SATs weren't good enough, and I could have had, Clemson always by my side. If I had to go JUCO, they were going to stand by me. And I can remember Coach Ford and Tommy West, and Bobby Robinson, Bill DeAndre, all those guys, always encouraged me. And fortunate, I did what I needed to do to get in. And Clemson, when my father died, Bobby, they all went to the funeral and met my wife because of Clemson University. That was the best decision I ever made.
You were the first player in NCAA history to finish in the top 10 in punting and kicking 2 different times. What is it like to have accomplished that feat?
I can remember my high school coach, Bill Kohler, said, "Don't read about yourself." And so that was one thing I never didn't read about myself, just to keep your feet planted on the ground. But things like that now I look back on because I've got a son, and so he enjoys looking at it, and it's a thrill for me to show him stuff like that. So it's exciting. It's fun to look at now.
What was it like playing for Coach Ford at Clemson?
Loved it. One of my best experiences of any, and I played for a bunch of head coaches in the NFL as well, and then 2 at Clemson with Ken Hatfield. But Danny was great. He was, he's a father figure to me and probably a lot of players. And just from the time he used to come down and watch some high school games, he's just how just how you go up to a bar and sit down with him, have a beer with him. He's like that off the field and on the field. He was just a great mentor for me, and I can't appreciate him more than I do.
You played 16 seasons in the NFL, more than any other former Tiger. What do you attribute that longevity to?
Hard work and fear. I played out of fear probably because when you get in the NFL, you're not shocked really, but just sort of pinch yourself, wow, I made it. But then it becomes, all right, I don't want somebody to take my job. And so I probably played more out of fear than anything else, worrying about somebody else is working harder than me somewhere else and going to take my job. So that's the way sort of I approached it. And I guess it worked out okay, but it was definitely a lot of hard work, no doubt. Off seasons were as tough as in season.
Is it right that you never had a punt block in high school, college, or the NFL? Is that right?
Well, I never had a punt block in high school and in the pros. In college, my last game, I shouldn't say this, but my roommate Shane Scott, led guy who's playing guard. My only punt block was against South Carolina, my last game with Clemson. That was the only one of my whole career.
Well, what do you want to be remembered most by about your career, whether it be Clemson or the NFL or anything?
Not big, and just being a good person. That's like just treat others as you'd like to be treated. Just be good to other people. That's what I try to do. Just respect everybody, and but yeah, just my time, at Clemson helped teach me that. Danny and those guys really did. So I couldn't be more appreciative.
Last question, just what do you think about what Coach Schwinney has going at Clemson right now and the state of the football program right now?
I think what's more impressive than anything, you see what kind of kids Clemson recruit and Dabo recruits. And he reminds me a lot of Danny because I can remember even with the uniforms when he first came in, he wanted to get back to let's not change up the colors and the helmets and this and that because it's such an iconic logo, great colors. And I knew from the start that, he's special. Obviously, everybody knows it now, but back then, those guys stuck with him through the rough times because they saw what he was building and the kind of young men he brings in. And I think that's what I'm more proud of is the wins are great, and naturally they're great, but seeing what these kids come out of Clemson, because they're not all going to play football, they're all going to be lucky to play pro football, but what kind of young men they bring into Clemson and really makes Clemson what it is, a bunch of great people and great young men. He's done a phenomenal job.